Oh my goodness. So yeah, here's my voice. So first of all, sometimes my English will be not understandable, sorry, like I said, because I'm not very English guy, like to talk in English. I'm mostly Polish. And yeah, I'm from Poland. I wanted to say too. And I'm gonna talk about Last Guardian. Oddworld's Last Guardian. How I got inspiration, motivation, and the entire history, how I made it. Because why not? And yeah. Okay, to start with, actually, how I met Oddworld. Because a lot of people ask me how I made this beautiful franchise. Because I am 60 years old. It's not a lot, and I am stupid teenager. So how I know about Oddworld so early at my age and how so early I made Last Guardian. So actually I realized about Last Guardian because when I was having like 4 years old, yeah, a long time ago, I saw playing my dad at PlayStation 3 port Oddworld Apes Odyssey. And it was quite a thing because I remember playing him and realizing how he dumb was. Not actually saying that my dad is dumb or something, but it was quite funny for me. And I'm not remembering a lot of this because, you know, 4 years old kid can't remember a lot from that time, you know. Okay, anyway, so I met Edward at this time, and also my dad told me story how he actually knew Edward. He was be studying and just found this goofy game at some kiosk, kiosk. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. Like mini store in Poland. It's actually called or something like this. Anyways, and he bought that one game which was of course Oddworld Apes Odyssey. No shit. Oh, and also sorry if I'm going sometimes use offensive words or something or cursing because, like I said, I am a stupid teenager. I can't sometimes control myself. And yeah, okay, back to the story. And my dad bought it, and while studying, for the rest, he was playing Apes Odyssey. And later, when I was born, he just showed me at so early age the Oddworld community and such. Okay, later, because I'm just already talking about how I met Oddworld and this franchise, I mean, and I'm not talking about actually the Last Guardian because this interview is about Last Guardian. And also, I'm not sure if it is interview because I'm literally alone facing into my computer and realizing what I am doing. But anyways, um, it was 2013. Yes, very early because actually Oddworld Last Guardian was released in 2024. Yes, I am saying it correct. 2024. Yes, correctly. And actually, the first concepts of this game was literally in 2013. Like really. And someone can ask, wait, you're a 60 years old teenager and 2013 was almost 10 years ago. And someone can ask, why so early I made concepts like being so young, like very young I was at this time. Like I was born in 2009 or 29 and 2013 is the same year when I was met with Edward. And how is this possible? So, my dumb brain at this age actually very liked Oddworld, like the the vibe of this game, the schemes, etc., etc. And my dumb brain decided to draw concepts for the Oddworld levels. because I saw the other videos on YouTube of people actually making custom how it was called editor, and it was actually nice like to watch these videos because like you watch them and it was different. Like on the real game, the the layout of the game was different, but on YouTube is different. Like was like my dumb brain was processing these videos like, what the hell? I don't recognize these screens and maybe some levels. So actually I was kind of lurking. Lurking? No, I'm not sure. Maybe searching. Oh, searching is the better word. I was searching about some information. Yes, Eri, on my old phone. That's actually not my phone, but that's phone. How I should do uh, do custom levels. Actually, I didn't found anything because dumb brain at this young age, and I don't know what to do. So I just grabbed some pieces of paper and started to draw, like very draw, a lot of things. And there was a lot of these concepts. The like to actually resemble, there was like 15 levels, but these levels was having a catch, which actually was represented in Last Guardian. It was from the bird view. It wasn't from the view like every ape game Oddworld game has. Like the site, you can see the site of the ape and just walk, climb, escape, shoot slicks, chant, etc. But Last Guardian has very specific view, which is from the ceiling maybe. I actually call this view from the bird because birds fly and see like actually like this when they fly. But yeah, and later on, 2019. Yeah, I mean that's all what I can say about 2013 because it was just this some concepts and that's it because I was just focusing on school and you know. So it's 2019. I just I was just again searching some paper from my homework as I remember, I'm not sure, and I found this. And I found this, I was like, what is this? Then I just saw at the paper just the title Oddworld. I already knew what was on this paper. Like for real, I just saw this paper, I already knew what it was. So I just grabbed some engine to work on. Like I just actually learned some coding, how to walk, change scenes, screens optionally, like I was actually doing in Last Guardian. And I built the earliest ever, not remake, but concept, like maybe test build actually, of the Last Guardian. It was just 3 levels that was taken actually from the paper, but I'm not sure actually. Maybe not, but some concepts were taken from the paper from 2013 test into this test game in 2019. It was having only 3 levels, and it was having actually no custom textures and mechanics. It was just a simple game to just see how I can do if I can do a big game. But no, it was a failure, a big failure, or maybe fail. Yeah, I think it's the both words seem no means the same. Anyways, after the 2019, I again forgot about this existence of these concepts and such. So I decided to to move on. I mean, I forgot about it. I was again focusing on school, maybe some friends, but at this time actually I was having no friends because my anxiety likes to kill me at that time. I mean, still it does, but not a lot like the earlier times. So it's again 2020 or maybe 2021. Again, I realized this game exists. Like again, I found the paper concepts and actually the test game from the 2019. I was actually quite shocked when I saw this build, like the first test build of this game, because if I wanted to compare at that time my skills that I was using year earlier, 1 year earlier, sorry for my pronunciation, I'm dumb, and it was different. Like I couldn't compare the same code if I wanted to do the same test builds at the year 2020, of course. And I said, fuck this, like for real, fuck this, and I just started doing again, but this time I started from the ground up, not using the oldest build. It was from the ground up. Everything was new, code was new because well, I forgot how the earlier code was working. Like comparing the code I was using in 2019 to the 2023, it's a lot different. Like in 2019, it's very simple. It was just make very not very basic, like to really easy to use, like to just configure everything and such. But at the 2024, you just have 15 variables. You must put every number at the exact variable, set position to Yotu, which is player, of course, and it's a lot. Objects, sauce, mechanics, you know. Okay, so back what I was saying, it was 2020, I was building again some builds. And when I was building these builds, it was again trash. And sadly, the builds I was actually doing at that time, I delete every build except 2019, which is weird. I deleted every build from the 2020. Same for the 21, because it was very bad. Oh my god, it's 12 minutes already. I was recording this. Quite a long time. Anyways, and every build from 2020, from 2021 is gone. It's actually theoretically lost media. Even when you have the category trash with the projects, there's no existence of it. When I was deleting precisely. Even I meant to say that in the trash corner there was nothing, no builds. There was nothing. So 2022 passes. And the 2022 was actually doing. I was already interested of the coding stuff because I wanted to go off this subject in my later school, but sadly I didn't pass. Depression kicked and such. Anyways, and I wanted to work more about the coding. I want to become a coder at that time. I mean, I want to still become a coder because it's a fun thing. I learn something, and maybe I would do some, I don't know, some freaking nuke that will from the Russia or someone that would actually be cool. I don't know. It's just an example. Don't mind me if I actually going to do this. No, no, no. Okay, I'm just thinking about other things. I must focus. Sorry. At the 2022, I was actually doing a fun game or maybe a game joke actually of the Ultimate Custom Night created by Scott Cawthon, and I did the joke game about this game, like the UCN or maybe Ultimate Custom Night, which was called UOF, which at the full name was Ultimatum of Fighters. If you actually want to see this game, you can find somewhere. You can find it somewhere. I'm not sure if it's still public or it is taken down because one slot of player was very offensive and was resembling uh, one war thing. which was really happened. Yeah, quite a thing. But 2022 passes, it's 2023. It's exactly summer. I passed uh, I passed my first school and I was going to the high school, which I said earlier I was going to be a coder, yeah? Yeah. And it's summer and I again it's cursed like 3 times. I actually reminded myself that I have this concept. Without the concepts, the game would never happen. Like for real. If I if my mom or dad or actually my family would throw out these papers like these concepts, I wouldn't remember this at the time. I wouldn't remember. Okay, it's 2023, summer exactly, and I again found the papers and said again, fuck this, let's do another build. So I've made like around 10 builds at this time, which was sadly just at one project. I mean, I didn't save the data from exactly how the project was doing and such. Like only one resemble of this build is actually called Last Guardian Alpha, which can be still found if I remember. And it was very basic, like just basic player movement, collisions, textures. A lot of things was placeholders, very a lot. And at that time, I was slowly but slowly working on it, on this game. I didn't throw the builds again like the earlier time I said in 2020 and 2021. I just said I was actually going to continue. I mean, at one moment when I was actually doing these builds, I forgot again, but I didn't delete them. Like mean 2 bits, if I remember correctly. And I didn't delete them, but I forgot about them for like 2 to 3 months because I was having a big problem with the music code. Like it's still garbage comparing to the release date of Last Guardian because I don't know still how some code works. Like for real, I don't know. I found of course this build later on, like 3 months later, and I said, "Oh man, I did such a good thing." Like not a good thing, but such a good build. Like comparing the other games I actually made, like the joke games or maybe actually serious games, it was all the trash because it was very airy 2019, 2020. But this game was having a potential that I never saw in other games. And for around 2 days or maybe 3 days in a row, I was crying, and trying to fix the damn music code, like for real. And you don't know how I was happy when I fixed it. I was freaking happy. I was fucking happy actually. I it was a good thing to feel because you struggle to fix one thing which is very hard and you struggle with it a lot and then you actually fix it which has a satisfaction of it. But yeah, and I fixed it and of course started working on this game. But at what moment when I did exactly 14 levels, I realized some levels are boring. Like they don't have very specific mechanic like Oddworld Apes Odyssey and Apes Exodus. It's not the same. And of course, just a reminder, it's still based on the Oddworld thing. Like, and here's a catch. Like I want to say, I did 14 levels. There was no interesting mechanics except you just grab keys and go to the next level. It was actually everywhere on the levels, and that's all. It was nothing. And I decided to just work on the lore. First lore was actually based on the Yotu, which we actually know today, because he passed the name. Actually, he wasn't having a name. I asked on one Oddworld Discord server what he should have a name, what I should give him a name. Oh, yeah, precisely to say it. And one volunteer says it should be Yotu. I agreed. I won't actually named Nyx him earlier on, but I said it didn't fit him well. And also I used this name earlier on some later aerial games, you know, the thing. And Yotu was very fitting to him because it was very different and I never heard about this name, like for real. And okay, back to the story. Original story to Last Guardian was like it was starting at like when you start apes at the Apes Odyssey, you see this like room for Mudokons like where there's a chained up ape. It was actually the same with Yotu, but he wasn't chained up. He was just sitting in the corner and uh, and just struggling with breathing. Yeah, weird thing. And why breathing? Because he was traumatized about guardian angels at that time because it was actually meant that the story was meant to be that he actually was scared of guardian angels and he wanted to destroy all the guardian angels because he hated them. It never passed. In this story never passed, but the fraction of it actually passed as a thing when he actually beated the last guardian, which was at the a guardian angel, of course. The entire Rapture Farms was on fire, which actually passed. This segment actually passed on the actual lore of last guardian nowadays. So Rapture Farms is on fire. Yotu tries to escape, but a freaking wall or maybe pillar actually falls on him, which is actually resembled on Last Guardian. And here everything starts at the accurate story, but actually on the original story, it was meant if you did good things to others and bad things to others. And actually, if you did bad things, no one helps you. But if you did good, actually the rain, like the safety rain, not rain, like someone tries to help you, like one other Mudokon, uh, and you with him just escapes of the Rapture Farms. And someone can say it doesn't make sense because if you know the good ending of Ape's Odyssey is meant to be to save all the Mudokons. But if you know exactly, uh, at the New and Tasty, there's actually one DLC to the New and Tasty which is called Arf's Escape. So in theory, Yoto is like the elf, but it's changed. This guy is changed. Like Alf doesn't exist. It's just Yoto, and it's the same, but Ape didn't arrive for him. And I think that's it. Like the early story was very, very, very airy and not accurate to the game, and was having a lot of problems to do it, and voices. So I think that's all about the story. So let's talk about new story of Last Guardian. New story of Last Guardian is actually like I said, Lepture Farms is burning. Yotu tries to escape, maybe aka Alf, not sure. And the random wall just fall on it. And here is a thing. What's happening with him? Like you don't know because you just woke up in random place, which actually you don't know what it is. And the entire game is a fucking dream. It's entire dream. You at the time when the wall falls, it's the dream starts. And when you move into the next episodes, because in the Old Last Garden there are episodes, there's like some fragments of sounds and maybe some cutscenes, which meant to realize slowly about you that you are in dream, and your brain is trying to realize to your soul that you must woke up and escape from the Rapture Farms because you're drunk and you're just actually chilling on the floor. Anyways, what I also want to say is what actually resembles the episodes because a lot of people ask me, like not a lot of people, but some friends, like what the fuck is this place? I don't recognize this place. And I said like and every episodes was meant to resemble some others. And someone can ask how it was doesn't make sense. First of all, it's a dream. Everything it happens from episode 1 to 4, it's a dream. So you're in dream, you're dreaming, and you actually don't know how these places looks like because you've never been in them. Oh, and also I didn't mention, but Yotu was actually only working on Lapshon farms. Like some Mudokons travel to other places, like into the Mudos or maybe some caves. Soulstorm, the places, Fico Depot, Boneworks. Soulstorm, I mentioned Soulstorm. And what every episode meant to resemble. So first episode was resembling Necrom mines because, and someone can say it doesn't look like mines because it's not very rocky. It doesn't have a lot of rocks. I know, and someone can say why I didn't rebuild them. I was lazy because episode 3, which we are going to talk about too, is also cave. But anyways, episode 2 was actually resembling Fico Depot. I know it doesn't resemble a lot of Fico Depot, but I was trying to as possible because I am teenager. I'm trying everything. I am experiencing about my life. I hate myself. Anyways, episode 3 was meant to look like the same, like was actually built different, but it looks same like episode 1. I mean, not really, but it was like a different part of Necrom. You know what I mean? Like in Sourcetime, there's a two parts, and you actually go into that one, and you escape from that place. Episode 4 was based on the Soulstorm, like the Soulstorm brewery. Brewery. Sorry for my pronunciation again. And I know it wasn't similar to the Soulstorm, but actually some places were, like for example, brew bottles where it was like scattered on the floor, and some vending machines with Soulstone and rocks, which was weird. But yeah, and I think that's all about what I can tell about episodes. There's also one thing I wanted to say about The Last Guardian, which is actually memory usage. If you don't know, if you actually played a lot of times while application app is still running, uh, if you quit the menu and play and like several times, the game is starting to lag. It's everywhere. And it's not my fault, it's the memory usage fault. Someone can say why. Mostly why it's mainly reasons from the engine because like I said, it was having a lot of problems. Like for example, it's complicated to say, but this game is running theoretically on two engines. And no, I'm not going to say names of these engines. One already people know on one Discord server, and second is actually fucking named in the menu of the game. Leave me alone. Why I want to name these engines? Because it's cringe. If someone knows what this engine is, don't tell anyone unless for my permission. Anyways, back to the main thing. Memory usage was having a lot of problem to concentrate on some small things, and a lot of things was sometimes bugging. Like when when there was two teleporters, you can just see how just fit your body or like your lower body of Yotu just is on the other place like it shouldn't. It was having a lot of problems, yeah. Okay, but so far I'm just talking about lore and memory usage. So, well, I'm going to again talk about development of this game. So, later on, actually, when I was doing builds at one moment at 2023, I wanted to do a demo which is called Paramonia demo, which should include pyramids, and it was full around of it was based on actually on Paramonia. There were should be pyramids and such, I think. If I remember correctly, there's still one existent build of this, like this Paramonia demo. It only contains one test level with only Paramonia placeholders, and that's it. There's nothing else. It was just like, if I remember, I wanted just to recolor the first episode, like from the episode 1 demo, which I later again polished and such. Also, about the demos, there should be more demos. Demos, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And I never did a lot of demos because, you know, time constraints, and I wanted to release this game on my birthday, which actually I released, but there was one bug and I released it a day later. About the builds, like, there's a lot of in this builds, like there was a lot of differences in this build. Like, for example, when Yoto was spawning in the level or maybe path, it was like the same thing anyways. He becomes for a moment like the entire body and feet, his feet and body becomes like purple for 1 millisecond or maybe millisecond, if I know correctly. And it was just a thing to know where he was actually spawning, and he when he was actually correct spawned. Later on, this this thing was actually, of course, removed, but the sprites and such is still untagged and not touched. It's still in the game. If you actually want to find this, then it's easy. Also, if I'm also mentioning these builds, there's almost like 18, not 1 and 8, 8 0, 18 builds of this freaking game. Like, it's a lot. And someone can ask, why so much? When was June, when the June starts, and I was ending the the first school, like the no first school if I know correctly. Yeah, first school. Yeah, first school. When I was ending this, I was slowly also ending Last Guardian, and I also wanted to release it on my birthday, which was July. There was only 1 month, and I didn't even start episode 4. So with at the time of June to July, there was like 14 builds made every day just to rush this game. So in theory, this game is rushed like Ape's Exodus, just to release it on Christmas, but but it's rushed like not very fast, because from episode 1 to 3 it's not rushed. It was just I was doing this on chill. But thankfully on episode 4 I was having idea how to do it. Originally there was also supposed to be boss fight, but it never moved to the test phase because you know the the mechanics, the health, and also what the fuck should be the boss fight in the fucking Oddworld game. So I just scrapped it entirely. And I don't know, I'm not sure what to talk about too, because I'm just doing this interview about myself and I don't know what to talk about this game, like some concepts. Oh, I know what I should talk about. Unused stuff. Like, there's bunch of this, like, if I wanted to duck on some screenshots, also at my private Discord server, there's like also almost 15 screenshots from development of this game. There's some screenshots of screens that never passed the test stages, like with no textures. Maybe one has textures, I don't remember correctly. And it was just a test screenshots, not test screenshots. It was that like test levels that never passed the thing. If you have access to the debug menu in the final release of the game, which is also easy to access if you know, you know. Then actually by putting the correct ID of the levels, like -9, it will put you to the test room where I was testing entity called Slick, which of course I meant Slicks because there's nothing else called entity Slick. It's just a Slick. And I actually very early wanted to add it Slicks, but it never. I have always a problem doing the AI for it. I mean, there is some concepts how it would work. I mean, there's also some stages, like not stages, code of it that actually works in this level, only this level, -9. But it's very simple and doesn't make sense really, so it never passed the test stages. I mean, technically passed, but onto the game, never passed. Oh, that's the thing. Another unused object is called hydraulic press, which actually still is in the game, has every collision possible, and if I'm not remember correctly, because in one build actually he was going to be used. He I'm not sure, but he can kill you by using collisions and such. Um, why I didn't add this pressa or hydraulic press? Because because of time constraints and memory usage. It wasn't making sense because he was meant to be seen in episode 3 and 4, but when I was looking into the concept levels, it didn't make sense because it was only used in 5 to 4 levels, which for the total of almost 16 is not a lot. So I scrapped. Also, if I remember correctly, there was also alternative escape. What I mean by saying alternative escape, like there was again some later plans that actually I wanted to add the boss fight, which is of course the Guardian Angel, but it never, like I said, passed the test concepts and such because it didn't even make sense. It was based on that if you find him, then there's alternative escape and ending, but it didn't pass, like I said. Well, anyways, also I'm going to probably update the Last Guardian. I mean, I'm currently working on the Last Guardian, but because of the school, I'm not have a lot of time to work on it. But I'm probably going to add episode 5, but I'm not sure because there's like lack of memory in the engine, like in the both engines, and I'm having a struggle with the design and mechanics and concepts. If it's not going to be a good idea, then I'm going to just do a sequel or something because I'm not having a time doing all of it. Okay, I think that's it. I mean, I just said everything that I knew. Like, there's nothing else to talk about. If also someone wants to know some things, then I just can easily just ask on the comments or something, or maybe if there will be a lot of comments, that I would just do the Q&A or something like this. I don't know. I guess have a nice day because there's nothing else to talk about. Bye.